Welcome to another episode of Franky D Crafter. This week, before I continue working with the Super Sculpey, I'm gonna figure out if it's actually worth sculpting with it. It's not like we're doing these models for just display purposes. They're gonna drop. You know, eventually these things are gonna drop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sculpt, do a few tests, figure out if it's strong enough. And while I'm at it, I'll teach you guys a few texture techniques that will apply to any kind of clay. So let's get right into this. Today, actually, I'll have my, wait, where's Coop? Coop, you're working today. He's sleeping. He's gotta work for his biscuits. All right, let's get on with the video. All right, to start out with, I'm gonna be making different shapes of basically the most used shapes for my sculpts. So it's gonna be like a snake one, a square chunk one, and one with an aluminum core in it. That's gonna be a circle one or a spherical one. I'm gonna be writing down the time it'll stay in the oven. So for the 30 minutes, 60 minute, 90 minute. And then we'll see how these test out. It's obvious that the snake shapes, which are the shapes that are gonna be coming out of your miniature, are gonna be weak. There's no way to get around this. Even if you put wire within it, it's still gonna be weak. So this is a complete failure. For the square ones, they did better. I noticed that the 30 minute broke a lot easier than the 60 minute, and there was no difference between the 60 and the 90. So any time after 45 minutes or 50 minutes, your clay's gonna be good. For the last one, the sphere ones, they did the best. They performed the best. I ended up like slamming them on the floor and everything. They didn't break. It actually took a lot of force for me to be able to break those when I finally broke them. I ended up losing the 91, but I can assume the strength is that of the 60 minute as well. So in conclusion, technically the ones with the aluminum foil inside of them are the strongest ones. And I can tell this through my sculpt as well. Obviously, those middle sections seem to be the strongest. And let's take for example the spider. What worries me about it are the spikes and the legs, which I can see breaking in the near future, possibly by the end of this video. Let's move on to actually making the slimes or oozes, I guess. I'll be using the aluminum core, aluminum, excuse my accent, I'm foreign. Aluminum, blanked out. I'll be using the aluminum, come on man. Okay, I'll be mainly using the clay with the aluminum core for this ones, as it shows to be like the strongest, even though anytime you have pieces coming off of your clay is gonna be weaker. So I don't know how good this clay is gonna be. In comparison to the air dry clay, I've had my air dry clay sculptures fall a few times, and I've still yet to see them crack. So as it stands right now, I would rather use my air dry clay for miniatures, just because of how unpredictable our games can be. So far, not looking good for Super Sculpey. My issue is I have a crap ton of it, so I might as well use it. Keep in mind, I use a specific air dry clay. Polyform air dry clay, I think it is. I should have probably looked this up before I started the video. Anyways, if anything, I'll correct it somewhere in the bottom, alright? Good luck, editing Franky. Editing Franky hates his job. On the last episode, I showed you how using aluminum can give you a nice leathery damaged texture. Here we have Melty, pretty simple. I'm just utilizing the circular object on my tool to push clay down. That's it. We'll do another Melty, but this time we're gonna be adding clay to it, just to see how strong these parts are. I'm basically adding tiny raindrops on this, gluing it with the liquid Sculpey. And just making sure that there's a nice transition between the drop and the main body. Scales are also pretty easy to make. You don't always need special tools. You could definitely do it with something like the top of my liquid Sculpey. If you don't have that, you can probably use a pen. And if you have the tools, there's a few tools you can do. It just depends on whatever you think looks best. I get to the point where I just kind of start making slimes, not thinking too much about them. This is why I love making slimes, because it's a great opportunity for me to try something new and not have to worry about the end concept. Not have to worry about whether it looks good or not or whatever. All of these guys look stupid in their own way, and my players love them for that. But at this point, I'm literally taking whatever's near me and getting the texture out of it. I even open up my monster book and say, you know what, I can craft a few of these guys real quick. Boom, bam, done. Let's go. I'm just gonna paint them up and get them ready for the drop test. Alright, let's actually drop these slimes, or oozes. I'm so used to calling them slimes. Whatever, you guys know, you guys get it. I'm probably gonna, yeah, whatever. Moving on. I measure the height of my table and then basically drop them from that height. Let's see how many of them they all survive. I can't believe they all survived, honestly. I'm sorry. Anticlimactic. I just basically spoiled this to you, but they all make it. Made more damage to my table than the actual slimes and oozes. I guess I understand why they didn't break. Most of these pieces were made from a single piece, and there's nothing too sensitive coming out of them. But the second that you start making segments connect out of your main object, those pieces are gonna be extremely fragile. I would still use air dried clay. I could also do a video of me painting the slimes, whatever, but I decided not to. In the last video, I told you some painters that you could definitely check out that are a lot better than me at explaining how to do this stuff. Just make sure to tell them the Madman sent you. Madman? Why the Madman? I see you asking. Okay. I'm gonna test out how strong my spider is. I'm gonna get some biscuits and put it under it and have Kupop get that. What do I think is gonna happen? I think he's gonna flip it over, break it. No questions. Alright, let's check it out. Oh, you're gonna get it, spider. It's right there.
It is at this moment that I realized the spider was not going to get it. I figured I had to do something to get Pop's natural killer instinct to activate and tear this spider apart.
Oops. That definitely did not go the way I thought. I didn't know my dog was gonna be so polite with my terrain. Actually, he's probably better with my terrain than my players. I'm gonna send them that video, make sure they know how to treat my terrain now. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the spider survived. But honestly, I'm still not sold on Super Sculpey. It's weak, really weak, in comparison to the clay that I already use. It holds on texture very well, but I think I can work with my textures still on the air dry clay. So sadly, I have to figure out what I might use the Super Sculpey for. If you guys know any tricks on how to strengthen up the Super Sculpey, then I'm down to hear it if you want to put that in the comment section below. But I'm still happy with the test I did. I like dropping things on the floor and being afraid that I've wasted my time doing the sculpting and everything if I'm just gonna break it. That was really fun. What's next? Thanking the Patreons, of course. Thank you very much again, guys. Always, thank you so much for the love. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.